Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Singh. I am the CIO Equities at Tata Mutual Fund, and I manage the team which manages all our equity funds, and I myself also manage some of our hybrid equity schemes, which is what I am going to talk to you about today. So hybrid schemes, as the name suggests, is a combination of equity and debt, and in some cases, commodities like gold. So in hybrid scheme, as against a pure equity scheme, the advantage for the investor is that you are not only investing in equities, but you're investing in debt, which gives you security. And you're also, in some cases, investing in commodities like gold, which gives you protection when nothing is going right on equities or even on the debt side. So hybrid fund का जो difference है compared to normal equity fund is to give you more stability and security, and at the same time give you equity taxation. So in a hybrid category, all our schemes today and most of the schemes in the industry are designed to give you the same tax rate as equity taxation, because we will have 65% equity at all points. So the advantage really is to give you more stability and to give you same level of taxation as a normal equity fund. So what are the types of different hybrid funds? So there are 3 or 4 key types. One is the plain simple hybrid fund, where equity may 65% will be there, and debt will be the remaining 30-35%. The equity portion in various cases can go from 65 to 80%. So that is the normal band in a normal hybrid fund or a balanced fund. Then the second category, which is a very interesting category, which has done very well over the last few years, is the balanced advantage fund. Now, balanced advantage fund, the difference between balanced advantage fund and the normal hybrid fund is that in balanced advantage fund, the equity allocation keeps changing depending upon the market conditions, the equity market conditions. So if there is, for example, a decline in the equity market valuations, the equity proportion goes up. And similarly, if the markets are in a completely bullish phase and the valuations have gone up, then we bring down the equity proportion. So typically, balanced advantage fund में the equity allocation जो होगा, that will be between 40% and 80%. In our case, I'm telling you what our model is. So you can see that when the markets are going up and down, this is a very, very ideal fund to own, because it is actually going to give you more stability when the markets are going down, because that time we will be at lower equity allocation, and when the market reaches down, we increase the equity allocation, and then you get the full benefit. So overall, balanced advantage fund, the advantage is for a normal investor like you, you would not be able to time the market and change between equity and debt yourself. Balanced advantage fund, we will do it for the investors, and you don't have to worry about timing the market. If the equity market has come down, तो मैं equity allocation बढ़ा दूं, या equity काफी बढ़ गए हैं तो मैं equity allocation कम कर दूं. That is our job, and that we do in balanced advantage. The third category is the multi-asset fund. Multi-asset fund is basically where we have equity, we have debt, and we also have commodities. So, for example, most multi-asset funds today, gold is an option. So, हमारे multi-asset fund में suppose we can take 10% up to 10% in gold. Gold में advantage ये है कि when the economy is in trouble, for example, we have been through that period in the last 6 to 9 months. Gold will give you not only protection, but gold does very well when there is uncertainty. Gold prices go up, and that helps the whole performance of the fund. The fourth category is what we call as the arbitrage fund, which is, in my mind and in your mind also, it is a substitute for liquid fund, which means that if you want to park your money temporarily before you wait for entering the market, or if you want to do an STP from a liquid fund to a equity fund or a hybrid fund, then you can also do it through arbitrage fund. Arbitrage fund may we don't take any equity risk. We are only taking the spread between cash and futures market. So yields in arbitrage fund today are about 4.5%, which is your annualized return, which is higher than what you will make in a liquid fund. And the best part, like I told you about hybrid fund, is that even in arbitrage fund, the equity taxation is a big benefit, because if you are in a liquid fund or in fixed deposit, you will pay 35% depending upon your interest slab, depending upon your tax slab, that the tax will pay. But in arbitrage fund, you will end up paying the same tax as the equity, which is 10% long term, 15% short term. So these are four broad categories of hybrid fund. इसके आगे भी अगर हम देखें तो there are options which are there on the retirement side. So retirement planning is done through hybrid funds, because as I told you, the advantage of hybrid fund is when you're planning for things like retirement, you don't want too much volatility. You want steady returns of 7 to 8 to 10% with equity taxation. So we and the industry have various schemes which typically are targeted only for retirement planning, and those are done through hybrid funds or types of hybrid fund. It's another type of hybrid fund essentially. So these are the advantages, and these are various types of hybrid funds. I would highly recommend it, especially the balanced advantage fund, because the markets are going to be little uncertain. And the way you should be thinking about equity markets is, yes, there is a lot of things now going right with the economic recovery. But at any point of time in equities, there are risks. There are global risks, there are China risks, there is geopolitical risk. तो किसी भी टाइम पे इक्विटी में 5-10% करेक्शन पॉसिबिलिटी हमेशा रहती है. And to protect against that, if you can have a fund which is managing the equity allocation dynamically, I think that is one category which has done well. In fact, our balanced advantage fund has also done very well over the last 1 year. And arbitrage for temporarily parking money, and the remaining hybrid category, whether it's the balanced fund or retirement planning or multi-asset fund, you should look at some allocation purely from a long-term planning point of view, because these funds will give you stability and security of income after 5 years, 10 years, when you are actually needing that capital post your retirement. So to summarize, I think hybrid funds, the way it is different from equities, it protects and gives you more stability and security, while assuring you the same level of taxation as a normal equity fund. And for long-term planning, I think any from an investor's point of view, any fund plan which you're making, and any corpus if you want to build for a long-term purpose, whether it is for education of your child or marriage or building a house, hybrid fund is uh, ideal, because you don't want too much volatility from your savings which you are accumulating for a particular purpose, because you want it to meet that purpose. So that is all I wanted to talk about for the hybrid fund. Hope you've understood and enjoyed, and realized the purpose which hybrid funds solve. So I would end this by saying thank you for listening, and stay safe.